And we'll start. Hello, everybody. We're going to give it about 2 more minutes just to make sure everybody can get in on time here. Welcome to all. Give it about 1 more minute and we'll go ahead and get started. Well, good afternoon and welcome to today's webinar, Mastering Efficiency, the Unlocking the Power of the BBB Response Portal. I am Jenny Takesky, the Programming and Communications Manager here at the Better Business Bureau Midwest Plains. Just wanted to let everybody know that we are recording today's webinar and we will send out a follow-up email to everyone with a link to the webinar as well as the presentation information for you can go back and use it as a reference guide in the future for you. Also, just to let you know, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please go ahead and put them in the Q&A section and we'll answer all the questions at the end. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. We are very fortunate today to have our very own Vice President of Operations, Denise Greeny, with us. Denise is a seasoned professional with nearly 14 years of experience at the Better Business Bureau. Throughout her tenure at BBB, she has consistently displayed a remarkable ability to strategic leadership and operational excellence. Her responsibilities include overseeing vital operational departments such as the dispute resolution, vetting, data quality, first responders, and trade practice. In today's webinar, she will demonstrate and discuss the functionalities of the BBB Response Portal, which is included within your accreditation. The BBB Response Portal is designed to make it easier to manage, view, and respond to both complaints and customer reviews. So welcome everybody, and Denise, it is all yours.
Thank you, Jenny. So to get started, today's response portal presentation, as Jenny mentioned, if you have questions, please leave those in the chat. We'll leave plenty of time at the end of this webinar to answer all of those questions. So we're going to start a little with the intro to the portal. We'll do a demo, and then happy to answer any of those questions that you have once complete. So this is just some information. Better Business Bureau loves data. So what we have found when we were polling businesses and consumers is that integrity is the most important consideration for all age ranges, even over customer reviews. So as you can see here, honesty, integrity, no matter what the age demographic is the leader where consumers are looking for whenever they're choosing a business. And one of the things that boils down to honesty and integrity is to making sure that you're taking care of your customers, and responding to complaints as well as customer reviews is one of the ways you can help build that integrity and build the trust factor with your customers as well as potential customers. So when a complaint comes in to Better Business Bureau, we do have dispute resolution staff that reviews the complaints to ensure that it meets our acceptance criteria. Once that is done, we will forward that communication to the business. Most of our businesses have their email as the preferred method of contact. You can have multiple people included on these email communications, so that way if one person's out of the office, another team member is being copied on these communications, so that way you can ensure that those responses are getting back to Better Business Bureau in a timely manner. So within that original email communication that is going to alert you about a complaint, there's going to have a link. When you click that link, you're going to see what you see here on the right-hand side of that image. Basically, it's going to log you in to what you can view. It will give you the information about the customer, what their complaint is, as well as their desired resolution. So what we have learned, especially from businesses that have high complaint volume, is getting an email every single time a complaint comes in and having to manage that communication through individual emails when maybe you have 2, 3, 4 complaints open at any given time can be cumbersome and it can get lost in the inbox. So our solution at the Better Business Bureau was to design a portal. We actually worked with large companies such as Amazon, eBay, Capital One, to get their feedback as to what their team needs to make this process more streamlined, more effective, and essentially better for the team members who are responding to these complaints. And so what we came up with is what we call our response portal. So when you log into your business login, which you can get to by visiting bbb.org and going into the upper right-hand corner and clicking on the business login link, you will see a tile called Response Portal. So when you get that initial email communication telling you there's a complaint, maybe you need to do some time to research before you're ready to leave a business response. When you're ready to leave that response, you can easily log in to your business login, click the response portal, and that's going to take you to the portal itself. So this is a screenshot. Everything within the portal is color coded. So as you can see, we have 3 complaints that need a response now, meaning they're getting ready to time out. It shows you how many opened complaints you have. It'll also show you if there's any unanswered. And it really gives you an overview as to what your complaint process and what you need some responses for at the current time. In there is also some information on statistics. So this is very helpful for businesses in particular that have maybe weekly or monthly KPI meetings with their team. So you can go in and pull the statistics of how many complaints have been answered, resolved, how many were marked as invalid, as well as look at the issues regarding the complaint. So was it a billing or collection? Was it customer service, refund, sales? This allows the business an overview so they can really take a deeper dive into what the majority of their complaints are involving. So for example, here, billing or collections was 77% of the complaint volume that we were receiving. So you can easily take this back to your team, come up with some opportunities that you can implement to help reduce the number of complaints that your company may be receiving. So I'm going to give me a second here so I can go into a different screen and we'll do some screen shares and I will show you a demo of the actual portal itself. So when you're in your business login and you click on the response portal tile, it's going to take you to this page. As you can see here, there's one open complaint. The screenshot that I showed a few minutes ago with all the color coded, those will all start appearing depending upon what complaints are currently in the process, as well as customer reviews. So we'll go over complaints first, and then we will talk about reviews. So here you can click directly in any of these boxes and it's going to show you the complaint details. Once you're ready to respond, you simply click down here to the bottom and leave your response. Or you can use your next step. Or you can also send BBB a direct communication. Maybe you need clarification from the consumer before you're ready to leave a response. So For example, a good tool that you can utilize this blue section here for is maybe you're a financial service company and the individual who filed the complaint didn't provide their full last name. Obviously, for you to cross-reference their account, you may need that information. So anytime you have a question for Better Business Bureau regarding the complaint or need consumer clarification, you can use this step here, which will allow you to type in your information, and that goes directly to BBB as opposed to the consumer, so we can help assist giving you the information you need in order to respond. So if you are ready to make that response, you can click into here. Well, this one has no action ready at this time, but there's normally a box right here. When you click that, it's going to take you to a page where you can submit your business response. You also have the option to upload any documents or photos that may want to be shared with the Better Business Bureau so we can best assist in getting the complaint resolved. Now let me get back into here. Under your complaint dropdown, you have a couple things. So you can look into action items. This is going to tell you if there's anything that requires that attention. You also have open complaints. And one of the benefits of the response portal is the fact that even after you've had a complaint and it's closed, you can still access that information here. So maybe the complaint's closed out a year ago through Better Business Bureau, there's no further action. And then maybe you get a letter from the Attorney General, or it shows up somewhere else from this consumer that you recall knowing you've responded to this. So you can go in and see your response, see how it closed, and basically have this as documentation in case you need to reference it later. Also, under your dropdown, when you're looking at a complaint, you can look at the status as well. So here we can see this is pending consumer clarification, which means this is waiting on a consumer to respond. Therefore, as the business, you do not need to respond at this time. If it is something that you need to respond to, it'll say awaiting business response. So that way you know that it's time to submit your response to the Better Business Bureau. If you are working with a team, so maybe you have a shared inbox or you have multiple people copied on complaint communications, you can use this box here to leave notes to each other to communicate. The internal reference box is only viewable for the business. So anyone who has access to the response portal can see this. Any information you leave in this box for internal reference, it is not shared with the consumer nor the Better Business Bureau. So this is a tool that you can use. So if we have a team and I'm going to work this complaint, you can simply type, Denise is working. It helps to save maybe an email to your team members, and it helps with project management. So the whole team knows who's working on what. Also over here, we have our complaint statistics. So this is the information I showed a little bit ago about how you can put in a specified time frame. So maybe you want to know what the complaints by category for year-to-date 2023, or maybe you're attending a weekly KPI meeting and you want to report back to your team where your stats are. You can plug those in and it's going to generate your pie chart here. And then there's some additional information down below that you can reference. All the companies we have presented to for the response portal so far have really enjoyed this statistical information, so that way they can monitor, view, and essentially improve maybe a process, maybe a product or a service that is generating those complaints. Jenny, do we have any questions at this time on the complaints portion before I move on to the reviews?
No, there's no questions as of right now.
Okay. So as we said, this is a response portal because it's not designed just for complaints. It's also a one-stop shop that you can go to view and respond to customer reviews as well. So if there's any pending, you would be able to see them here. Published is the same way. To protect the privacy of other companies, we use a dummy file, so we don't have any reviews, but they would show up right here, and you can see if you've responded to them. And just to give you a little bit of time frame of how this works for reviews, when you receive a communication, which just like a complaint, we're going to send that over to your customer review contact or contacts. This is yet again an area that multiple people within your company can receive the communications. There'll be a link in there. You can respond to the customer review. Especially if it's a positive review, a lot of companies want those posted immediately. Leaving a business response will help to publish that on your Better Business Bureau profile faster. If we don't hear from you, after 5 business days, the customer review will post to your business profile. So our reviews work a little bit different than other platforms, whereas once they're submitted, it's not immediately reflected publicly on a business profile. We have the 5 business days as a backstop, A, to give the company an opportunity to respond, and B, also ensure that this is a customer, there was a marketplace interaction, and it's not maybe a disgruntled employee who's filing a customer review. So it's a way to help not only Better Business Bureau, but for the business and consumers, that the reviews coming into BBB are legitimate. With a review, you do not have to respond. So even as an accredited business, you are not required to respond to a customer review. However, with a complaint, you are. With a review, we would highly recommend, because it shows a business is engaged with their customers, they're responsive. So we would encourage you to respond to a review, but you do not have to. Let's talk a little bit about the complaint process. So when a complaint comes in to the Better Business Bureau, you have 10 calendar days to respond. If there's ever a time that you need an extension or more time, just let us know. Use that step that we had there on the left-hand side. Acknowledge to the Better Business Bureau that you received it, you're looking into it further, and we would be happy to work with you to grant that extension. As Jenny mentioned, this is a benefit for accreditation. This is all included in your accreditation, whereas non-accredited businesses either do not have access to this portal, or they have to subscribe with an annual contract in order to get access to this. So it really is a great tool. It makes it a one-stop shop for your team that's managing any complaints or reviews. And it's easier for you just to go to one spot, see everything that's there, know when it closes out. We'll still continue to send you those email communications. But the feedback we've received from a lot of businesses so far that have utilized the portal has been very favorable. So we would encourage you to use it. Also, if you click under your help here, there's a video that kind of walks you through the portal as well. So at this time, I'd be happy to answer any questions anyone may have. Also, Jenny will provide you with my contact information. So if any questions arise even after this presentation, feel free to reach out to our team. We are happy to help, and we just want to ensure, especially for our accredited businesses, that you have somebody that you can call when it comes to your complaints and or customer reviews who can walk you through this process.
Denise, in regards to, you stated how a business has 10 days to respond to a complaint. What about a consumer then to respond? Is it 10 days as well for them?
It is, yes. So once the business makes a response, we will forward that response over to the consumer. The consumer has 10 calendar days as well. If we do not hear back from the consumer, that complaint is going to close out as assumed resolved. Now, we are always willing to reopen a complaint for both a business or a consumer. So say It would never happen with an accredited business because you adhere to our code of business practices and standards. However, for non-accredited businesses, we've had occasions where a complaint will close as unanswered, meaning they haven't responded. Anytime, we are happy to reopen that complaint because it's a way for the business and the consumer to seek resolution together. In reference to if a consumer doesn't respond within those 10 calendar days, maybe 10, maybe 15 days later, they come back and they have a rebuttal or additional information, we would look into that, reopen the complaint, and we would send the business another communication letting them know that we've reopened that complaint.
And then what happens if a complaint is not resolved between the business and the consumer?
So our workflow is that once a complaint has gone through 2 rebuttals, so the business has now responded twice, the consumer continues to reject the business's response, then our staff takes a deeper dive into that complaint. So what we're looking at is, did the business make a good faith effort to resolve the complaint? And if so, we will close it out as answered. We're a neutral third party, so we're not here to say the business is right or the business is wrong or the consumer's right or the consumer's wrong. But we do at times run into instances where a consumer is, what we realize is just not going to be happy with any response the business makes. The business made a good faith effort. So I'm thinking about maybe our contractors. So a complaint we just worked today and closed. There were some issues with the work that was performed. It was still within the warranty time period. The business made an effort, an offer to come out and resolve the issues, and the consumer rejected and just wanted a refund. Well, the business has made an effort to come out and resolve whatever underlying issues may be there. Just giving somebody their money back isn't necessarily going to be the only way to resolve. We also, for an accredited business, have the opportunity to offer informal mediation as well as arbitration, and both of those are done at BBB's discretion. One of the main factors that goes into offering, especially arbitration, both parties have to be communicating, and the complaint has to continue to be advancing. So sometimes things stall out, like, maybe the business is saying the same thing over and over and the consumer saying the same thing over and over. We'll try to get that to advance to a point of resolution before we offer arbitration. But arbitration is free for accredited businesses. And like I said, it has to qualify. And we will work with both the business and the consumer if it does qualify to get an arbitration hearing set up.
And then in regards to complaints being put onto their business profile with us, is it posted immediately after it is settled?
The complaint is not posted anywhere until it is closed. And typically it takes on average about 2.5 weeks for us to get that published. We have some redacting that we do on the back end. So for example, if account numbers were given or proprietary information, personal information such as date of birth, it may come as a surprise, but every now and then we'll have a consumer who gives us their social security number. Obviously, any personal information we will redact before it gets published on a business profile. We also, it's important to note, not every complaint qualifies for publishing either. So for example, at this current time, our system is not set up to be able to post anything that came in as an attachment. So if there's a complaint, I'm going to go back to my contractors, where the consumer filed a complaint and sent in a lot of attachments of photos of the work. As long as the complaint details are still legible and make sense without those photos, we'll go ahead and publish it. However, say it was a mailed-in complaint. So when we submit those to the business, that's going to show up as a PDF attachment. That would not be a published complaint, at least for the details. We will publish that there was a complaint and the type of complaint, so a billing issue or a sales issue, and how that resolved, whether it was resolved or answered, but the complaint details will not be provided due to the nature of how the complaint was received through Better Business Bureau.
I do not see any other questions. Like Denise said, if you have any questions though, after you get off this webinar and think of anything, please reach out to myself or her and we will get back to you with those answers for you. Just real quick, we just wanted to let you guys all know about some upcoming events that we have and to continue to go to our website at bbbinc.org for all of our future and upcoming events that we have. So next Wednesday, we have top tips for sending a child off to college. So if you or somebody that you know is sending their first child off to school, this would be a great webinar for them to come to. We have a local bank as well as a local college within the area who will be on the panel, and they'll be discussing like ways for your student to keep their identity safe and with their banking account or with their credit cards of where to put them safely for somebody else does not find them, or what to bring to school versus what to leave at home. Or if you're needing additional financial aid or need more scholarships possibly, we'll have all of those answers for you on that webinar. Then on July 18th, we have the benefits of BBB accreditation for your business. So these will talk about all of the great benefits that we offer for you and walk you through those. Then August 6th, we are actually teaming up with 2 different local law enforcement areas for National Night Out. So please come out and visit us at those events. And then September 24th is our 27th annual Torch Awards luncheon. This year we have 35 winners that we will be showing appreciation to and celebrating their success of integrity and ethics on a daily basis. And on September 26th in the Overland Park, Kansas area, we will be having our ribbon cutting and open house ceremony for our new office there. So if you're in the area, please come out and join us. We'd love to meet and see all of you. Again, I am Jenny, and if you have any questions, like I stated, or if you have any ideas of programs or events that you would like us to be a part of, please reach out to me. I would love to talk to you about those opportunities and go from there. And then, you know, the last slide, I think Denise yet with the survey. We just have a quick survey for you to fill out. We enjoy everyone's feedback. We are always striving to do better and be the best. So please let us know how we did today on today's webinar. Again, since this is recorded, we will get you a follow-up email with all this information and the link to the webinar and the survey for you. Probably tomorrow, we'll get that over to you and go from there. We thank all of you for coming out today to join us and hope that this was very informative for you to learn about the response portal and complaints and customer reviews. And Denise, thank you for taking time out of your schedule today to come and let us all know about it and everything else. So again, everyone have a wonderful evening and we'll see you guys again soon. Bye.